Hi, Dr. Urban here, and I want to talk to you about a couple of my favorite subjects. I'm going to be talking about probiotics, which, like a tsunami, is coming this way, and it's getting bigger and bigger because we know or believe that 93% of chronic illnesses are caused by problems in the gut. Now you say, well, now wait a minute. But yes, that's true. And if your healthcare provider isn't leaning toward that understanding, he or she has some catching up to do. I'll just tell you that because the narrow door to knowledge in this matter of probiotics and even prebiotics is opening, and it's going to be along the lines of what I'm going to tell you now. Now, probiotics are bacteria. You put them, they're living bacteria. You put them in usually in your mouth. You eat them, and they go into your gut, and they repopulate your rainforest, also known as the gut microbiome, such that you have more of the good stuff and you have less of the bad stuff. And yes, there is a battle on all the time between good bacteria, bad bacteria. You're not sterile of one and full of the other. You are balanced, and you want to change the balance through your probiotics. So I think you need a probiotic approach. You begin to study probiotics and see how you can help yourself. Now, what about prebiotics? Well, quickly, prebiotics are fibers contained in food, make it all the way to the end of the digestive tract, that being the colon, where they are broken down into food for certain bacteria, and that's a good thing. So but they are not bacteria. They are food for bacteria. Now, an example of a prebiotic is a banana. This is, for me, a too-ripe banana. You want green bananas because they have the fiber, and in the process of ripening, green bananas change from not so sweet carbohydrates, long-chain carbohydrates, to sugar, which is not so good for you. It's sugar. Getting back to probiotics, you want living bacteria, you want from proven sources, and I'm going to give you one of the sources. But first, let me just finish the study. In the MRI study at UCLA, they found that the prefrontal cortex, that's just part of the cortex, was positively lit up with those who took probiotics. We're not talking about prebiotics anymore. Probiotics. And not so with the ones that didn't take the prebiotic. These are MRI measured responses. Now, the prefrontal cortex takes care of judgment, self-control, reasoning, not so much the emotions. They found that the probiotics did not change, at least as to what they were studying, the emotional responses, although as I read the research, people who are on good probiotics are balanced, and their reasoning and their judgment, and of course that leads to less stress and this sort of thing. So in a roundabout way, the study didn't show up, but I think there are implications that there are emotional benefits as well. But anyway, their study showed the prefrontal cortex. Now, in the description, there will be two links. One link is to this study that I'm referring to from UCLA in case you want to read it in more detail. The second one is a link to Dr. Stephen Gundry's probiotics that I take. Now, I've taken them for a long period of time, approaching a couple of years. I'm happy with them, and I keep going back to them. Why do I go back? Why do I go away? Well, because there is the notion that probiotics need to be, it's a good thing to mix them up and add new probiotics from time to time. Even Gundry, Dr. Gundry says that. So that's why I come back to them, but I take them and they're around. And he will have a product called Prebiothrive. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time. You can go on the site and look for it. And of course, bananas aren't the sole single source of prebiotics. I use them to illustrate a point. This banana is too yellow for me. I like green on the green side. Therefore, let's break off, and I suggest you get a probiotic approach. Start looking into it. There are a lot of things to consider. Don't get bogged down in the different names of bacteria. There are thousands in your gut, but two names to remember would be Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium. There are different kinds. Now, don't go chasing them around, but if you run into them, you're in the right ballpark. So that's it for this video. Get your gut balanced. Feed your rainforest. You've got your rainforest. Night and day, you've got your rainforest. It's working. Help it, balance it, keep it balanced. And I'll see you in the next video.